You know, in the epic tale of the Ramayana, there's a warrior whose story makes you stop and really question a virtue we all tend to admire: loyalty. So today, we're going to dive into the tragic story of the giant Kumbhakarna and the timeless dilemma he represents.
And this is the question at the absolute heart of his story. Can something we see as a good thing, unwavering loyalty, actually turn into a fatal flaw? It's a question that just hangs over every single part of this incredible tale.
Okay, so first things first, it's so important to understand who Kumbhakarna really was. He wasn't some mindless monster, not at all. He was a deeply complex person, a prince, and above everything else, a brother who was bound by this unbreakable sense of duty to his king.
And this is where it gets really interesting. To his enemies, the Vanaras, he was just terrifying, an elemental force, a walking mountain casting a shadow over the entire battlefield. But on the inside, his reality was way more tragic. He was his brother's last hope, a warrior who had to follow a command that he knew deep down was just wrong.
I mean, just try to picture that moment he arrived. The ground literally trembles. A shadow just falls over the entire army, and this one thought ripples through the ranks. The giant is here. The panic must have been immediate, just absolute.
And let me tell you, that fear, it was completely justified. Once Kumbhakarna was on that field, his power was just overwhelming. It was like a natural disaster that was given a purpose, and his path of destruction was chillingly methodical.
His rampage was just relentless and unstoppable. With one single sweep of his arm, he could wipe out entire divisions. He tossed warriors around like they were nothing, like leaves in the wind. He was this primal force, even devouring his enemies as he pushed forward with just one single-minded goal: get to Rama.
And his power was on a whole different level. We're not talking about average soldiers here. The greatest heroes of the army, Hanuman, Angada, Jambavan, they all tried to stop him, and not one of them could even slow him down. His strength was just something else. But look, the physical battle, that's only half the story. The real drama, the real tragedy, that all unfolds in the quiet moments between the fighting. This is where we see the warrior's conscience really come to light.
In a moment of calm, right in the middle of all that chaos, he speaks to Hanuman. And just listen to what he says. He flat out acknowledges that Hanuman is fighting for Dharma, for what's right. He knows he is on the wrong side of history, but his duty, his loyalty to his brother, it ties his hands. He's not fighting out of hate, but from this deeply conflicted sense of honor.
Well, eventually, Rama himself has to step forward to face the giant. And even Rama, his ultimate enemy, doesn't see a monster. He sees a noble warrior. He actually acknowledges his admirable loyalty, even while pointing out that it is so tragically misplaced.
And this right here, is the heart of the whole tragedy. Kumbhakarna's response is just filled with this sad resignation. He doesn't ask for mercy, he asks for an end. He has made his choice. He would rather die for his brother, knowing full well that his brother is wrong. He's completely trapped by his own code of honor.
And with that, the final, epic showdown begins. This wasn't just a battle of strength. It was a collision of two duties, two different kinds of dharma. And for Kumbhakarna, the price of his loyalty was going to be absolutely everything. Rama's divine arrows strike true, severing Kumbhakarna's arms, and then his legs. But here's the incredible part. Even dismembered, he is not defeated. His will is just unbreakable. He keeps crawling forward, roaring his enemy's name in one last act of pure defiance. It takes one final, celestial arrow to finally end the battle.
And then the giant falls. The battlefield goes silent. But his death isn't treated like some simple victory. It's recognized, even by his enemies, as the honorable end of a truly great warrior.
And those are the words of Rama himself. As Kumbhakarna falls, his conqueror bows his head in respect, offering a final tribute not to an enemy, but to a peer, a warrior who is defined by his immense, if heartbreakingly tragic, loyalty.
So we end up right back where we started, wrestling with that same profound question. When your personal duty conflicts with what you know is right, which path do you choose? Kumbhakarna made his choice, and his tragedy isn't that he chose wrong, but that his loyalty forced him into a position where there was just no right answer. And that right there is the enduring power of his story.